we're not listened to. We're excluded by default. We're excluded merely out of hand by not being considered at the initial planning stages of anything. And it's just assumed that non-disabled people will know what may or may not work for us. But quite often it feels as though that comes secondary to how something looks when it's finished.
A sighted person, when travelling, their primary source of information is vision. So if they're walking along the pavement and someone's walking towards them, they're able to negotiate that person. If they want to cross the road, they simply stand, look left and right, and then cross the road. But if you have little or no vision in some cases, these things become very difficult and quite frightening for some people as well.
Raised pavings that are not raised to a suitable level or marked, you know, a visual indicator of where pavings are. Badly laid pavings. Prams, pushchairs, buggies, people. It can be anything that forms a barrier between myself, my white cane, and a flat, level, secure surface.
In parts of town there is some roadworks. The one, what's it, next to St George's Hall, where they're putting the river in, well marked.
It's not well marked.
No, because there's no signs telling you.
They've got a tendency now to put up a lot of barriers. They don't always end at the tap tiles. So if it carries on and they've put what I call extra barriers, to Judy it's a really big obstacle. If there's more of the barrier, Judy can't go from tap tile to tap tile. She then is going as though she's going into the traffic.
If I had a wheelchair which was used just on flat ground all the time, even a slight raise in the ground with that, you have to physically wheelie over them.
The wheelchair for me is a means to an end. I can walk, but not very far. And so I do tend to take the chair, which is nice and lightweight, park the car up and get into the chair. But it depends where I am, how easy it is. Last week I went to the Alhambra. There's plenty of parking around there, disabled parking, plus it's a one-way street, so you can park anyway. I haven't been since the engineers have been and altered the access there. So as I drove down, I realised that I was going to have to press the button for the bollards to go down. So as I drove up, I found it very difficult because for all the signing it is there, by the time you get to the button, you've lost the sign. Now, my mobility in the car is a bit restricted because I have a backpack. And so, window down, oops. Now, I'm not so tall that I could actually reach the button. So, it was a little bit more of an obstruction than I'd imagined.
I think the worst one I've ever found was, it was a scaffolded walkway, and it was wide, just wide enough to get the wheelchair down. And when I actually asked someone about it, they said, oh, we never even thought about someone in a wheelchair wanting to use it.